Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Okoyemi Goddess, and if you're new here, you're very much welcome. I talk about everything relating to lifestyle, nursing, life in the UK, motherhood. I'm a new mom or a first-time mom. I don't know if I'm still a new mom. My baby is 6 months old already, but yeah, I'm a first-time mom. So I also share things relating to motherhood. Pretty much everything awesome, everything fun, everything inspiring, everything uplifting, and of course everything informative, especially for new immigrants in the UK. I take my time to share tips regularly on how to settle in the UK as a new migrant. So if you like any of these things, do what to like, share, subscribe to this channel, and of course smash the notification bell as well, so you'd always know when I put up videos here. Okay, so today's video is one that I love so much. I mean, I'm so eager to even make this video. Like, I'm so, you can tell from my gestures, from my expressions, I'm actually very happy about this topic. So today we'll be talking about reasons why you should become a nurse. So today I'm talking about the benefits of being a nurse, why you should consider nursing as a first career, like if you don't even have an established career already. But if you do have like an established career already, but you're considering a career switch, so if you want nursing as a second career, I mean, I would talk about why you should actually consider taking that step, why you should consider taking that bold step, really, because it's a bold step of switching, I mean your career, switching from one career or something outside of healthcare totally to nursing. So let's just get started. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first on my list today is job security. I remember back in nursing school, they would always tell us that no matter how bad it gets, as a nurse, you would always find a job. Now, you may not like how much you're being paid, you may not like the work environment, you may not like a lot of things about that particular job, but whatever happens, you would always find a job as a nurse. Like, no matter the scarcity that goes around in all other professions, as a nurse, you will always find a job, regardless of your salary or the work environment or the incentives that comes with the job. You would always find a job, and that is applicable in all countries. That's what I've noticed as a nurse. I've been a nurse since 2010, November 2010. So that's 13 years. Oh my god. So yeah, in my 13 years experience of being a nurse, I realized that the job security is actually something that's very real, something very true. And as a nurse, you can never be like totally out of job for like an extended period of time. Even if you're laid off for any reason or you resign from a particular job, it won't take you too long to find another job. And just job security in nursing is just something very commendable. So if you're looking for a profession or a career that would offer you that job security, I think you might want to consider nursing. They don't necessarily lay nurses off like that, the way they do in other professions. So yeah, you may want to consider nursing if one of the things you're considering is job security. So the next benefit of being a nurse is the fact that nursing is in high demand. Like, wherever you step your toes or wherever you step your feet as a nurse, you're needed, you're wanted, you're in high demand. So people are just running after you, employers are running after you, governments are running after you, because there's always shortage of nurses in virtually all the countries on earth. I don't know where I don't know if you know any country that can actually boldly say that we are not short of nurses, we have more than enough nurses. Please let me know. Maybe I've not done my research. Maybe I'll go back and do my research on that. But from the little I know, I don't think there's any country, whether a developed country or a developing country, I feel like nurses are always in high demand. So if you want to become a hot cake, if you want to be chased by employers, you may want to consider nursing. Okay? So the third point is the flexibility, and this is something I personally like about nursing. It offers you that flexibility, especially in developed countries. I know it may be a bit rigid back home. I mean, you have like fixed shifts, but I know that in developed countries you have like several options. But even back home, we still have like, it may be limited, but we still have options in terms of schedule. But I know in the West, you even have more options, more options when it comes to work schedule. So the flexibility is something I really appreciate. You can work night, you can work day, you can do short, even for days, you can do short days, you can do long days. There's just a lot about the flexibility. You can decide to work only weekends and not work weekdays. You can say, oh, you want to work weekdays, you don't want to work weekends. There's just a lot going around the flexibility as regards nursing. Especially if you have little children and you have childcare needs, you may want to consider a profession that gives you that flexibility in terms of your work schedule. Say you have to arrange childcare with your partner. Nursing, or let me say jobs in the healthcare industry would give you that flexibility you want. But of course, because I'm a nurse, I would emphasize more on nursing to give you that flexibility you want, especially as a parent. As a parent of little children especially, you would want to consider nursing because of that flexibility. Next on my list is actually career progression or advancement, and this is something I also particularly like about nursing. Like, you're not like stuck to a particular band except you choose to. Like, if you choose not to move to another band, that's even if it's in the UK. I mean, different countries have different names or different protocols for their career progression. I know back in Nigeria, if you work in a government hospital, or let me just say a tertiary hospital, you would I think you would go from a nursing officer 1 to nursing officer 2 to a senior nursing officer to a principal nursing officer to a chief nursing officer to an assistant director of nursing, and then to director of nursing, and then like that. So, but that's back in Nigeria if you work in a tertiary hospital. Even for private hospitals back home and even here, there's still career progression. You can move from a nursing officer to a senior nursing officer and all of that. And if you work in the NHS, it's the same. You have band 5, 6, 7, 8, blah 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 blah. But that's also dependent on your abilities, how confident you are to apply. Because here in the UK, you still have to apply for those roles. It doesn't come to you automatically. You still have to apply for those higher roles. But regardless, there's career progression in nursing, there's career advancement, and if it's something you desire, if you don't want to be stuck on one band, if you want more for yourself, you get more in nursing. So that's that about the career progression. Next on my list is actually diversity. I really don't know how to put this, but I just noted it down as diversity, or let's just say the fact that you have various work settings where you can work. You have different specialties. Like in nursing, we have a lot of specialties, a lot. Like if you don't like the clinical setting, you can work outside of the hospital. Like if you don't want to be stuck to the 4 walls of an hospital, I don't know if hospitals have 4 walls, but you get the point. If you don't want to be stuck like to the hospital, you can work outside of the hospital, you can work in the community, you can work as a teacher, even as a nurse, you can teach in the university, you can teach, you can work in the community, you can work as a GP nurse. I mean, the specialties are so much. I can't even begin to count. I think I actually made a video about that. If I find the video, I'll probably put it up here. So there are different specialties and different capacities you can work as a nurse. You can work in the prisons. So like I was saying, nursing is very diverse, and there are just several options to pick from. So if you want that kind of diversity, you want a profession that provides that kind of it's a kind of flexibility, but you have several options to pick from. So if you want a profession that gives you the opportunity to pick from several fields still within the field of nursing, you may want to consider nursing. This is something I particularly like about nursing. I've never liked bedside nursing, and because I do not really like bedside nursing, I decided to go into theater nursing. So even if you don't really like bedside nursing, there's always a place for you. There are just several options to pick from. You can work in different settings as a nurse. So if that is what you're looking at or what you're looking for, you want that diversity, you don't want to be stuck to a particular work setting, then you may want to consider nursing. So the next thing I'll talk about is the fact that nursing is actually highly esteemed. Nursing is a very prestigious profession. It is very respected, and it is very reputable. I know you're like, why are you saying all of this? Well, I'm a nurse, I have to hype my profession. But really, I know this is not applicable to all countries, especially developing countries. I know back home, nurses are still not as respected as we want it. I mean, but then if you are able to find your way into a Western country, you would actually love nursing. You would be happy to be a nurse. Like you feel satisfied or fulfilled being a nurse if you work in the West because of the prestige you would find. you would actually realize that people actually respect you as a nurse. People admire you, they admire what you do, and they actually appreciate what you do as a nurse. So I personally love this about nursing, especially nursing abroad, not like nursing back home. You're highly respected, and nursing is seen as a prestigious or as a noble profession. So if you want to get into a noble profession, you may want to consider nursing. Okay, so the next thing I'll talk about, which I know you really want to hear, you're wondering, why is this girl not talking about money? Talk about money, okay? Yes. So the next thing I'll talk about is money, okay? I'll be talking about the financial reward you get as a nurse. I know that no matter how much they pay us as nurses, we can never be satisfied, but this is not peculiar to nurses. I mean, neither is it peculiar to nursing as a profession. I feel like this is just a human thing. Like, we're never satisfied. Even if they pay us like 1 billion per month, we'll still complain that the money is too small. So this is not like peculiar to nurses or nursing. It is just the human nature. Like, we want more, we always want more. Our needs are never satisfied. But if we want to be truthful with ourselves, I feel like, my personal opinion now, I feel like nurses are well paid. If you want more pay, like, you may want to get out of certain countries. If you live in Africa or Nigeria, to be precise, nurses are not really well paid in Nigeria, especially if you work with the government. What you earn is not really it's poor, let me just be honest. But if you come to the West, especially if you go to places like America, you would actually earn a lot as a nurse. And even if you come here to the UK, you may not earn as much as maybe your friends or your colleagues who work in America, but at least what you would earn will be decent enough to do the basic things of life and to even live a better life than people who are back home. So yeah, I feel like we're still like compensated well, maybe not highly compensated, but you guys get what I'm saying. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to because I know some of my colleagues will be like, no, they don't pay us so much, babe, they don't pay us so much. I know, I kind of understand, but let's not forget that the compensation is still not bad. It could be better, and we actually want better pay as nurses. So yeah, if you're looking at a profession where you can earn better than you do at the moment, I mean, you may want to consider nursing because of the economic reward of being a nurse. And I feel like the fact that you would not necessarily be out of job at any point in time, except it is like a personal decision. I feel like that is like economically rewarding already. The fact that you already have that job security, I feel like that is economically rewarding already. So yeah, nurses are highly compensated and our salaries are competitive. I hope my colleagues don't come for me because of this particular point I made. But yeah, so if you want money, maybe not so much money, but you guys get the point, you will still be able to make a decent wage as a nurse. Okay, so I've got 3 more points to go, and the next thing I'll talk about is the fact that nursing is very exciting, it's very interesting, and it is unpredictable. Now, this is something I personally like about nursing, or the fact that my own specialty comes with this unpredictability that I love. Like, no day is the same as yesterday. Like, today will definitely be different from yesterday. Like, even if you're nursing the same set of patients, if nothing has changed as regards the patient's demographics, like the patients you're actually nursing, like it's still the same age, the same gender, the same medical conditions and all of that. Trust me, no 2 days are the same. There's always something. Like, today may be calm, tomorrow may be maybe chaotic. It's always like that in nursing, and I love the fact that you can't predict a day. Like, as a theater nurse, you might have the same patient, the same age, same everything, really, same medical history, coming for the same procedure, and they would have two outcomes. Like, it's always very interesting. One might need something else during the procedure, during the surgery, and another one, and the other patient might not need that extra thing during the surgery. So it's just very dynamic. I think that's a word. Nursing is very dynamic. It is very exciting. It's very interesting, but it is unpredictable. So I feel like that unpredictability makes it a bit interesting. So you know that when you're going to work, you would always find something new. So you're not kind of bored. At least I can say for myself and my own specialty, you can never be bored because you would always find something new every day, and that's something I love about nursing. Okay, so the next thing I'll talk about is the fact that learning never stops in nursing, at least if you're in the West. And I know it's same back home. Maybe back home we have like CPDs, which we call continuous professional development, and we have that here as well. This is actually something obtainable in all countries, I believe, or developed countries, but even in Nigeria we have that as well. So in nursing, learning never stops. You cannot say that, oh, I've gotten to that peak that I will stop learning. There's always something to learn. I mean, if you even want to renew your license, you'd have to take some courses to even renew your license. So it is more like a must for you to keep learning as a nurse, which is something I particularly like. I don't want to get tired of learning. I don't want to get to a point that I feel like I know everything, and I don't have to learn something new. I personally, I like to unlearn old things. I like to relearn, and I like to learn new things. So this is something that you'll find in nursing. If you're someone that's very inquisitive, you like to acquire new knowledge, if you're someone that's like very, very exposed, you like to study, you like to learn, and if that is just who you are or what you like to do, you would definitely enjoy nursing, because you keep learning. It's from one course to another, training to this to that. Like even while on maternity leave, like I keep getting emails saying you need to register for this course, register for that course, or my line manager is sending me emails that you're due for this course, you're due for that course. They've enrolled me for this course because they believe it will help me. Like there's always something for you to, there's always a course for you to undertake. There's always a learning milestone for you to reach, and this is something I really love about nursing. Okay guys, so the last point is the fact that there's this satisfaction and fulfillment you have as a nurse, knowing that you've made a difference. I don't know for you, but if you're a nurse and you're watching, but for me, at the end of every shift, when I get to the changing room and I'm changing back into my regular outfits, and I'm just packing to go home, there's this sense of fulfillment that you have, knowing that okay, you've done your bit, knowing that you've touched someone's life. I feel like there's just that sense of satisfaction that you get, knowing that you've made a difference in someone else's life, and that you know that you've touched a life, and then you know that whatever you've done for your patients today is tangible enough to make them recover, to make them get better, and you just have that sense of fulfillment. So if this is something you're considering, you want a job or you want a profession that will give you that sense of satisfaction or fulfillment, when you're done with the day's job, you want to go back home feeling like you've done your own bit, feeling like you've touched the life, then you may want to consider nursing. Okay, welcome to my TED Talk. I feel like I'm so passionate about this, but yeah, it's obviously because I'm a nurse. And so yeah, I really want people to explore nursing either as a first career, like if you don't even have any, or a second career. If you're considering a career switch, you would love nursing. Trust me, you will love it. So yeah, before I end this video, please, I've got some merchandise. I've got mugs, I've got water bottle or flask as you may call it, I've got t-shirts, I've got fanny packs, I've got backpacks. So if you want to patronize me, please look at my shop here on YouTube. If you're watching from a phone, you can look to your right, I believe. If you're watching from a laptop or from a TV, just look at the bottom and you would find my merchandise. Please patronize me, okay? So yeah, I would actually end this video on these notes. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a nurse and the other things you think I omitted, please let me know in the comment section. And if you're not a nurse but you're considering nursing as a profession, tell me why you're considering nursing and just ask me questions. I'll definitely answer your questions. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share. Click the notification bell as well, so you'd always know when I put up videos on my channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.